Welcome, race fans, to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for the Road America Grand Prix. This will be round number 9 of 19 on the season. Currently leading the championship is the number 2 PPG car driven by Hunter Kiel. Hunter had a rough race last week after having a mechanical issue at Detroit and ended up finishing 28th. Although Hunter has been leading the championship for the past 4 races, this is the closest the gap to second has been so far. That being a 2-point lead over the car just behind him, Myro. Myro has the best average finish of the field so far at 9.9. And a big part of that is having the most top 10s on the season as well, at 6. Will Myro be able to replicate the success they had winning at Long Beach here at Road America in order to match Hunter's 2 wins on the season? Every time I think a driver is looking to run away with the championship, another driver proves me wrong and shows just how far away we are from someone actually hoisting the trophy. Who will be the standout driver today? We will have to wait and find out on track. We are going to watch Hunter here through qualifying as he rounds the final corner and heads up the hill to take the green flag. Hunter only has a 2-point lead in the championship over Myro, so it's going to be very important for Hunter to start near the sharp end of the field to maintain his championship. Here comes Hunter up Thunder Valley through Billy Mitchell Bend and around the final corner. He will take the white flag here and set his first lap. Let's see where the drivers stack when they cross the line for the first time. John Vanderwettering has provisional pole at a 142.5. Hunter all the way down to 6, 4/10 off the pace. You'd have to assume that he's setting up a bigger lap. He has shown pace this season. Bringing up the stats, it's not much of a surprise that John's near the top. John is tied for the best average qualifying place at 9.6. He is tied with Brad Kiel, who is currently last. Brad is 2 seconds off of John's time, and you'd have to assume that he put a wheel off or has some type of issue going on. Hunter will round the corner here to take the white or to take the checkered flag. Let's see how if he improves on his second lap. See Myro down in 16th. Myro needs a big lap to jump up to fight for the championship. Nobody. Brad improves slightly, gaining 2/10 there from 2 seconds back to 1.8, but nobody else improves. So John is going to win the pole. We will quickly go through the field before they take the green flag. On pole is John Vanderwettering in the number 6 Bucky's car. On the outside of row number 1 is Tim Pagolo. Row number 2 consists of Kyle Finnegan and Fred Green. Row 3 is Thomas Kiel and Hunter Kiel. Row 4 is Paula Braganza and Alexis Schrader. And then row number 5 is Crass Nasty and Samantha Kiel. They are rounding the final corner. Lights are out on the pace car. Looking pretty clean through the field so far. The pace car is going to pull off, and John has control of the field. John's on it already and gets a great jump on Tim. Kyle looking to go up the inside of Tim for second place. Lots of chaos farther back the field. Really slow going through here, side by side. Back up front, John maintains the lead. Hunter is looking to go around the inside of Thomas. Hunter's on those softer red tires. He's going to be looking to pounce early in the race. Not able to get a good run, which might set something up for Paul farther back here as they head down into turn 5. Not able to do it. Samantha going on the outside of Hannah. Looks like she's going to be able to make that pass work. And farther back, Todd is looking to make a pass on Brady. And he does. Side by side through 7 is Steven Cheesin and Ken Wyman. They're still side by side. Gonna go through the carousel side by side. Here they come through the kink. Everybody's clean so far. Tim defending once again. You see Paul going aggressive on Hunter there. Oh, Hunter got pushed wide. Wow, we got battles all over the track. Tim once again feeling the pressure from Kyle. Not able to do anything about it. Crass looking to go around the inside of Hunter. Looks like he's going to be able to make that pass. Will Alexis be able to follow him through? No, she will not. Hunter seems to be struggling. He's lost touch with Crass a little bit after Crass made that double overtake earlier this lap. Cole popping out, looking to go around Hannah. No help, though. As once again, Kyle is still pressuring Tim. Tim's having to take the defensive lines, and all that is doing is just letting John walk away with it. There is nobody behind John. Once again, Tim is defending. Heading into 5. Kyle trying to throw it on the outside, not able to do so. And it's just stacking everybody up. This battle, Kyle really needs to get by Tim. Now, at what point is Kyle going to say, all right, screw it, I'm just going to sit behind you, I'm going to stop pressuring you? Because all this pressure that he's putting on Tim is burning up Kyle's tires. Alexis looking to go on the outside of Hunter. Not able to do so. Further back, Cole shipping it on the inside of Hannah. Hannah gets pushed wide. Maggie's going to follow Cole through, or at least try to. Not able to do so. And because of that, that's going to allow Todd to sneak up right on Maggie's gearbox. Oh, we got a big gaggle right here. Melissa getting pressured by Darren Wyman and then Taylor. Taylor's right there. Taylor is on the harder black tires, so I'd like to see her making some moves. Here we go, down to the inside. Have we reached that crossover point where the harder black tire is going to be the way to go? And John is pitting. John's pitting from the lead. That's really surprising, pitting this early. I would have thought with the lead that he had, he would have kept extending it. Maybe he was starting to feel the fall off of those tires and said, all right, screw it, I'm going to make the call and come in. So your new leader is Tim Pagelo, followed very closely behind by Kyle. A lot of the cars on the softer red tires pit. And it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to shake out. New tires, old tires. Steven Cheesin making up spots already. Look at that. His black tires are up to temperature and dove way deep on the inside of Jill and Moto to make a couple of passes. So Steven Cheesin's up to 23rd. He's at his starting position. But I'd like to see how much farther he can move up. Back up front, Tim Pagelo has pulled a little bit away from Kyle. Kyle must have burnt up his tires. Really battling for the lead there. But we can already see what fresh rubber will do for you with John already taking a second and a half out of his gap to the lead car. John getting held up by Brad here. This is not what John wants to see. Brad has not pit, and John is the first car to pit. This is going to really slow him up. John needs Brad to pit right now. And he will. Hannah shipping around the outside of Alexis through turn 1. They're side by side heading down into 3. Around the outside of 3. Oh, we got a battle for the lead. Tim and Kyle side by side through 5. Fred's right there behind him. Heading up through 6. Kyle looking to hold it on the outside, not able to do so. Will Fred be able to follow Tim? No, Fred's super wide through there. Jill still pressuring Steven Cheesin. As now after Hunter's pit, he's right in the front of this train. Hunter is on his outlap, so he's on cold tires. This allows Steven Cheesin to get a run. Hunter's going to defend to the inside. Will Steven Cheesin be able to brake farther on those warmer tires? Look at Moto throwing up the inside of Jill, surprising her there. They're going to go side by 2 by 2 up the hill through 6. Moto is going to take that position maybe from Jill. Will he be able to hold on the outside? Here at 7, no, big wiggle. Will this allow Devin to make a run on Moto? As we still have a battle. Look at this stack up that we have here. Jill's looking to go the outside or the inside of Steven Cheesin, and Devin Brown is alongside Moto. They're going to go side by side through 1. Devin has the inside line and is able to take that position away, but this is stacking it up and is allowing Samantha. Now Samantha is looking to go around the inside of Moto. Will Ken be able to follow Samantha through? Possibly no, not able to do so. So Moto getting shuffled back. Back up front, your leaders have pit now. Likely to see Hannah come pit. She's going through the final corner now. So where is John? John's through Canada Corner, coming up Thunder Valley. Gotta make the through the last corner. Hannah's going another lap. Tim is in the pits. Where is John? John crosses the stripe, and they're not even out of the pits yet. So, huge win for John. They are just coming out of the pits now. So the gap's absolutely massive for John. Not able to make the pass, but Devin Brown has a run through the kink. Dives up the inside of Samantha. Definitely surprised Samantha there. Pushes Samantha wide onto the rumble strips, but is able to make the pass. Oh, Samantha looking to go on the inside of the kink. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Thinks better of it. But Samantha's getting hyper aggressive. Just behind them, Alexis is looking to go around Jill. Not able to do so. John is struggling on these harder tires. Well, he did pit on lap 6, so that's 9 laps ago. And Tim and Kyle are chipping away at that gap. We got Samantha once again. Oh, Alexis, big slide there. Huge slide for Alexis. We're gonna go back and watch that from on board with Alexis. So here we are with Alexis. Alexis on the button. Samantha defends the inside. Huge slide from Alexis, but good save. That could have been a massive shunt into the kink. We've got a huge gaggle back here as we see Alexis now looking to go around the outside of Samantha. Caught back up to Samantha after that wiggle in the kink and drove around the outside of Samantha through turn 5. Alexis is on one. Bit between the teeth. She has those fresher tires you see on the left side of your screen that she pit on lap 13 compared to the cars around her, and you can really tell just how confident she is in those tires. Back up front, the lead is sort of stabilized for John, about 6 seconds. So you would expect to see John and Cole and Todd, anybody that has a lap 6 next to their name, you're expecting them to pit fairly soon. Your first car to make their second pit stop is Wanda Ardell on lap 18. This puts the rest of the drivers in the danger zone because Wanda has pit. So if a yellow were to come out, it would allow Wanda to cycle to the front. Back up front, Tim Paglo is still leading Kyle Finnegan. You'd have to assume if Kyle was able to get around Tim, he'd be able to put a dent into John's lead, but he just hasn't been able to get around Tim. Maggie has a run on Brady, heading down into Canada corner. Little squirrely from Maggie, but is able to make the pass. You can see names jumping up and down the standings as cars pit. Kyle still not able to get by Tim, sitting half a second back. With that fresh rubber, John has cut the lead down to 29.5 seconds. John is currently 13th in the championship, 57 points back, so a win would be huge. Where is Hunter? Hunter, your championship leader, is in 16th with Myro just behind him. Hunter had just pit, as your two leaders have pit. Where is John? John's heading down the front stretch, as your leaders are still in the pit, so John will assume the lead. Tim and Kyle come out of the pits just now. Alexis still has yet to pit. So it's important for Alexis to get around Tim, and vice versa. Tim really needs to stay ahead of Alexis to not lose time to John. Fred Green took the lead and has now pit. But Fred should get a bonus point for crossing the stripe here as the leader. Kyle is looking to go around Tim because Tim is being held up by Alexis. Alexis still needs to pit. This is exactly what John wants to see, having a 10-second gap because Tim and Kyle are stuck behind Alexis. Kyle really needs to get by Tim. He needs to find some way to get by Tim to start chipping away at John's lead as we are close to reaching the halfway point of the race. But you'd expect to see Alexis pitting sometime soon, and she will here. So Alexis pits. Will this allow Kyle to get a run on Tim? Did he have to check up for Alexis coming to the pits? Tim's going to defend. As Hannah, who was leading the race, pits. No, Kyle's not able to. So Kyle just can't get around Tim. Doesn't matter as much pressure as he's putting on him. Just can't find a way to get around him. You know, I kind of like that strategy call from John to pit early into the race. I didn't understand it at first, but it's sort of, there can't be a danger zone for you if you're the one causing it. Looks like Jill might have gotten a better run out of the corner than Devin, but right behind them, Moto is looking to go to put pressure onto Jill as well. Jill dives in deep on the inside of 5. And she'll be able to make it around Devin, it appears. So will he be able to hang? No, he will not. Jill should have that. Oh, Devin breaks deep into 6. And we'll have the inside for turn 7. And Devin hangs on to that position. I did not think he was going to be able to. We have reached the halfway point of the race, though, as your leader, John, has crossed the start-finish line to start lap number 29. So back up front, John has a healthy 10-second lead on the next set of cars, which is Tim Paglo and Kyle Finnegan. We will go on board with John and see how much push to pass he has left. He's barely touched the button. He's got 189 seconds left to push to pass. Let's compare that to Tim. 183. Neither of them have touched the button that much. Where we go back to Alexis, who we saw was on the button earlier, is down to 154 seconds. We're halfway through the race, and she's barely touched a quarter of her allotted push to pass, as Wanda has pit. So Wanda puts the rest of the field in the danger zone. I like this call. Wanda's been at the back of the pack the entire race, so why not gamble? There's no reason not to gamble. As your leader, John has pit. So with 24 to go, John pits. Everyone still needs to make 2 more stops, or 1 more stop from this point. Where will John? John comes out in 7th after pitting. Only 27 seconds right now behind Tim in 1st. Wow, John is really walking away with this one right now. So still up front is Tim Paglo. However, the gap to the first car that has pit, John, is down to 25.5 seconds. I really need to pay attention for when Tim and Kyle pit so that I can figure out what the time loss on pit lane delta is. Let's see how much push to pass that that Kyle has as they both come to pit lane. Still that 189 seconds. So they come pit. Fred is also going to come pit behind them, as you can see. So how much of a lead will John have? It was around 24 seconds, I believe. As Tim has not even hit his pit box yet. As you can see, John cresting the hill there. So John has a commanding lead. Looks like 16 seconds is the gap from Tim up to John. Probably be 17 as by the end of the lap. So 17, 24, 41. So you lose 41 seconds on pit lane. Paul not able, looks like he's not able to get a run that time. Oh, yes, he is. Is he on the button? He is on the button. And Thomas goes wide through the marbles, so Paul is going to take 8th place. You could see the gap was around 17 seconds from Tim up to John, but that is down to 15 now. And there's only a 4-lap difference in tire life. The tires do plateau, so at some point, John will stop bleeding time. Farther up ahead, Kyle seems to have a run on Tim. Tim's defending to the inside. Is Kyle on the button? He is. Is Kyle going to be able to make the pass? No, Tim shuts the door, slams it in his face. Kyle still fighting back. Will he get a run out of 3 here? Will he get back on the button? We'll go on board with him. He is not on the button. Down to 159 seconds of push to pass. He is going to look to go on the outside here. Tim slowly fades over. How much push to pass does Tim have left? We will go on board with Tim. 162, so there's a 3-second difference. How about with John up in the lead? 163, so he has slowly been burning that. You gain 60 horsepower by using push to pass, but it does burn more fuel, so it depends on if you want to trade that fuel or if you'd rather save the fuel to have a shorter pit stop. Myro looking to go on the inside of Brady. Down into 5. Looks like he'll be able to do it. Clears him heading up the hill. We'll have the inside line as well. As we come down to it, I would like to see Kyle go to the softer red tires for the final stint. It's going to be a short stint. And I'd like to see if Kyle can maybe use those softer tires to get around Tim. And Samantha just can't get by Steven Cheese, and it's really holding up this train. Jill, what are you doing? Don't go side by side through the kink. Jill loses a ton of momentum. I thought for sure she was going to get swallowed up by Devin, but Devin had to check up as well. That entire train checked up. No one's able to make the pass. But, oh my goodness, Jill nearly crashed probably 3 or 4 cars if she went off there. 10 to go as John crosses the line in the pits. So Tim will take the lead. You can see there just out of screen now. As John makes the pits, what will be his tire choice? Blacks. He's going to go again with hard black tires. Maggie looking to go around Todd. This is for position. Both these cars have pit. Maggie dives up the inside. She'll sacrifice some speed out of the corner. They're going to be side by side. Nowhere for Myro to go. Will he take it 3 wide? No, he will not. Thinking about it, Myro's going to follow Todd on the inside. Maggie able to hold on to the position for now. We'll have Myro to her inside into 6. Myro will take that position, it looks like. Yes, he will. Hunter still trying to get around Crass. Not able to do so. Both these cars still need to pit. Hunter along the outside. Crass goes super inside. Will Hunter clear him on the outside before 6? No, he will not. Crass has the preferred line, but Hunter, if he holds it here, will have the preferred line through 7. Hunter will have the preferred line. And Hunter will finally take that position away from Crass. That was a hard battle across multiple laps. Tim is your provisional leader. However, John, 19 seconds back, will easily jump to the lead. You lose 41 seconds on pit lane, so it should be like a 20-second gap that John will have. So John takes the lead. It'll be by a huge margin. Unless there's a yellow, I don't know how he's going to lose this. That's what I like to see. I said that earlier in the broadcast, that I wanted to see Kyle go to the softer red tires, and he does. He does go to the softer red tires. I'd like to see him put the pressure onto Tim now. It's kind of a lost cause to try and catch up to John, but I'd like to see him put the pressure onto Tim now that he's got the softer red tires. Tim had a great stop, though. Hannah's diving up the inside. This is not what Kyle needed, because Kyle has pit. Hannah still needs to pit. Kyle is right on, looking to get by Hannah. Both are on the button. Kyle's only got 36 seconds left. And John's got a 20-second gap to the next car. If only John caught this pack sooner, there would have been a chance that he could have slowed down enough for Tim to make up some ground, but it does not appear so, as Kyle is now really putting pressure onto Hannah. Kyle lost so much time to Tim, lost 7 seconds to Tim, being stuck behind Hannah here. Not able to do so, but you see your leader, John, has latched onto the tail of this pack. It's going to be very interesting how John's going to approach this. Will John try and slice his way through the lap cars? Or will he just kind of sit back here and ride? It'll be very interesting to see as Steven Cheesin leads the field. Oh, gets wide through the carousel. That's going to stack everything up. towards the kink. Oh, big wiggle. Shoddy camera work for me, my bad, but John goes side by side now with Robert through the Canada corner. John needs to be really careful working through lap traffic here. There's no reason to risk it. John's super wide there. Real squirrely on power coming out of the corner. Looks like John's going to be able to clear Robert heading down into one, though. Oh, Jill on the outside of that carousel. You do not want to try and do that. There's so many marbles there. As we now see this group come through the carousel again, and then through the kink. Nobody gonna attempt to go side by side, thank God. Hannah pits, so Kyle will regain third place. However, he is 11 seconds back from Tim. So, right call making that tire choice, but wrong call, wrong time to pit with Hannah staying out. However, John here is going to keep slicing his way through traffic. The only way that he can lose this race is if he ends it for himself, and it looks like he's trying to. 3 to go. We'll see what happens. The gap is down to 10 seconds. So if John were to get damaged at some point here, it'd be threatening for his race win. It'll be interesting. There is some gaps now, but it'll be interesting to see if Steven Cheeson is able to hold it through the carousel. If he stacks up this field, that someone could try and go side by side and throw a wrench into John's race. Looks clean through there. John looks like he'll be safe here. Is going to have a run down into Canada corner. But it looks like he's going to escape the danger. I thought for sure something was going to happen. But John's going to round the final corner and make the run up to start finish to take the checkered flag and win here at Road America. In dominant fashion, pulled away at the beginning of the first stint and never looked back. John is your winner. Tim Paglow comes across the line for second. Kyle is going to make the run up for third. Followed by Fred and then Paul, who's getting chased down by Thomas. We still have a battle here. This is the battle for 10th. To crack the top 10, Myro is holding on. Myro has the most top 10s this season, is looking to continue that lead by getting number 7. Talked about that at the beginning of the broadcast. Myro staying in this championship because of his consistency, and he's proven that again. Myro's going to get another top 10 and minimize the damage as Hunter came home 7th. My bad. Here are your results for round number 9 at Road America. John dominates on the day and wins by a healthy margin, although he had that lap traffic that he was working through. John, Tim, Fred, and Hannah all get a bonus point for leading a lap. And here on the second page, you can see that John gets a point for pole as well as 2 bonus points for leading the most laps. However, Alexis, who finished 12th in the race, stole the fastest lap from John with 2 laps to go in the race. Here are your championship standings leaving Road America. Hunter increases his lead back up to 8 points over Myro, and the pair are attempting to break away from the rest of the field. However, lots of drivers are still within striking distance and can work their way back into the championship fight with some bad luck for the leaders. Which is exactly what might happen at our next race on the schedule, which is going to be 130 laps at Daytona International Speedway on the oval. But it's the oval before the repave in 2010. This means it will be extremely bumpy, and when we tested here before the season, we had a ton of crashes. It'll be a race that Hunter and Myro will need to survive in order to keep a hold of the championship. We'll have to wait until the next race to find out if they will be able to do just that. We will see you in Daytona very soon.